Hello, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones, and I am a crystal whisperer, which means I talk to stones and they talk to me. And I am here today with a trio of crystals that are singing for me. These crystals came forward. I was opening my heart to receive some crystals that would help me with a ritual fast that I'm going into this week. And I thought this would be a perfect time to share, to talk to you guys and to introduce crystals as a way of aiding a fast. So there's some people go into a fast, a ritual fast for religious or spiritual purposes, and some people it's become a fad almost to do fasting. It's a health fad right now. So I think it would help people who are, either way, whatever the reason for going into a fast, bringing crystals in can make the process just so much easier and more joyful. Because as we know, that we can go for hours and long stretches of time without food and without even thinking about it. Sometimes people forget to eat. And it's not a big deal. But as soon as we know it's something that we have to do, or we've challenged ourselves to do, or it's part of a religious practice or a spiritual ritual, then it's like all we can think of. Then all we can think of is food. And that's just human nature. Tell us we have to do something, it becomes really hard. Just doing it without thinking, easy. So, but let's make it a little bit easier by bringing in some crystals. And last year I spoke to you guys about a circle of crystals for fasting. It's every year for me is different crystals come up depending on what I'm needing in the moment. And there are certain crystals that are beautiful no matter who you are or what you're going through at the moment, that can be a constant, one that we can always turn to, and that's the middle one there, the beautiful teal blue, and it comes in different colors. It's apatite, and apatite is a really amazing crystals. I want to say crystal, and I can't. So, because there's so many different colors of apatite and so many different shapes and versions of apatite. So they are really crystals. So apatite, the very name kind of gives us a hint as to how it's going to help us with our appetite. I introduced apatite to you guys not too long ago, and I went into a whole blog post about it, and I will and you can find that information on the website at songofstones.com. Today I just want to focus on it for this particular purpose, but apatite can help us in many different ways, and it helped me hone in on my purpose for being on this earth, and this hunger that I was feeling. It wasn't a physical hunger, it was a spiritual hunger that did manifest as physical hunger, but it was really at the root of a spiritual hunger. And again, I go into detail with that. It's a really it was a profound teaching from the crystals at the moment, and I feel like you'll get a lot out of it if you go and check that out. So, but today I'm going to focus on appetite for physical hunger because we're talking about it for fasting. So appetite, beautiful crystal. The blue one was singing for me. There's a golden color that is incredible. There's a neon blue, tiny form where it's really gemmy. This one has kind of a whitish coating on it. And I feel like for me, this was an important element of the crystal. Let me see if I can turn it around without causing too much trouble. There we go. You can see it even more on this side. There's a shimmer to appetite that you're not going to see probably on the video at this angle, but when you move it, just beautiful shimmers and that white coating. And I'm wondering now that I'm thinking of it as if it's going to help me with that dryness, because you know that thirst. So we're talking about hunger, but thirst is a really big one too, right? And I feel like that white coating is a hint to that particular gift that this crystal is going to give me on the holiday to help me with my thirst. You know, it's that dryness that I find particularly challenging. It's harder for me to go without the liquid than the food. And I'm I'm getting thirsty just thinking about it. Anyways, I will have a drink in a moment. So the other one that's here is also a water crystal, which is interesting. I didn't even think about it. See, I'm getting the information for why these crystals are showing up for me as I'm talking to you. And sometimes it's like that. Oftentimes it's like that for me. The crystals show up and then after I understand why. Sometimes I look specifically, like I was looking for fasting crystals. So I was looking for crystals that are going to help me with the fast. But you know, I didn't realize that I was choosing crystals to help me with the dryness of the fast. So aquamarine is that beautiful greenish blue crystal right next to the apatite, which is to the right of the apatite. And it's quite gemmy. But it's got that whitish coating on it, which is really lovely. And now I see the purpose of it, so it's even more lovely. So aquamarine, I didn't know why it was showing up, but now I do. It's bringing me into the water and connecting me to my inner waters. Because, you know, we tend to look outside of our bodies really quickly for satiation, for satisfaction. And sometimes, you know, we have in our bodies exactly what it is that we need. I'm not saying we don't need to drink, obviously we do. But if we're in the fast and we need to we're thirsty, we can bring up that or tap into the water that we have in our body. We have a lot of water in our body. And that drying out during the fast is it's purposeful. I'm not going to get into that now. It's something that I've learned through the years of fasting, that drying out our body can bring a lot of healing. So just that that rest that our body has too without food and water, because food and water, especially food, takes a lot of energy for our bodies to process. And so the fasting gives us that, oh, my mouth is so dry. The fasting gives us that rest for our inner body. Because we rest every night. We do fast every night when we go to sleep, but it's a little bit different. But we rest our bodies. We think to rest our bodies all the time, but resting our digestive system is not something we give a lot of thought to. And it can really be, it can offer a profound healing. And then there's a spiritual aspect too. So aquamarine is going to help me connect to my inner waters. Apatite is going to help me with my craving for food and water. The addiction, because we are addicted to food in one way or another. And in our modern culture, we do tend to eat a lot of foods that have addictive qualities. And so when we fast, we do go into withdrawal, and it can be really, really uncomfortable. And then the crystal to the left of the apatite. You might recognize it. I speak about it often since it came in as our crystal of the year, our year stone. It is copal, and I have been finding myself bringing copal in often anytime I need to cope with something. And the name says it all, copal. And so when we're having a difficult time coping with the stress of withdrawal, of temptation, of the physical stress, the transition from, we're used to eating 3 meals a day and snacking often. And then we're shifting in one day to nothing. So there's that. So copal. Bring copal in. I advise you to bring copal into your life for all sorts of things. And you'll see once you start working with this crystal, it's amazing. It's great for addiction. It's great for so many things. But for now, for today, for this week, it's going to help us with our fasting. And, if you don't have access to these crystals and you're feeling the call to them, revisit this video or take a screenshot, or there'll be pictures on the website that you can look at, because you can tap into these crystals even if they're not in your hands or in proximity. And speaking of which, this is another thing I love about crystals for fasting or for anything else, is that we don't have to do anything. We really don't have to do it. We just have to bring them near us. We just have to think about them. We just have to have the desire to be connected to them. That's it. And then it's done. Then we reap the benefits. Then we tap into the energy. And it's also about giving ourselves permission and opening our hearts to it, because if we're closed off to it, it's not going to work. But I feel like you guys that are listening to this are going to be very open. And so all you have to do is really think of a crystal and it will be in your energy field. And remember these if you're doing a fast this week, if you're one of those people who are doing a ritual fast this week, just tap in, think about them. And when you're struggling, the hard part is to remember. So make yourself a little note. Make yourself a little. I do this. I make myself a little care package of crystals, but also you can get a box, or you can get a bag, or whatever it is, anything that soothes your soul, a book that you want to keep near. I keep my star songs near me. So I have a bottle of my star song, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's a crystal elixir, but a very special crystal elixir. And if you're interested in finding out more, there's more about it on the website, or reach out to me and I'd be happy to tell you about it, because I do offer star songs as a distance essence, and they are profoundly transformational. Plus they help me instantly with if a migraine's coming on, or if a headache's coming on, or any kind of physical pain. They are a godsend to me. And a journal, bring a journal, or a coloring book, or whatever makes you happy. Make yourself a little care package, or a little care, like a little spa basket. Get yourself a basket and fill it with all the things that will bring you joy, that will ease your fast. And keep it nearby. And this way, when you start to feel like you're struggling a little bit, you can reach into your little basket or little box and pull out something magical and wonderful. So that's it. That's what I have for you today about crystals for fasting. And the fast crystal that I'm going to be talking about is going to be the apatite crystal, because that's the crystal. I think I started out by saying there are some crystals that can work for everybody. These particular ones were singing for me this time. Apatite was not in my circle last year, but apatite could work for any of us anytime we're struggling with a hunger. And whether that's an emotional hunger, a physical hunger, or a spiritual hunger, whatever it is, these are amazing crystals for that. And they come in a rainbow of colors. Okay, have an easy fast and a beautiful week, and we will see you soon. Many, many, many blessings. And don't forget, next month we're going to start the Crystal Lives again. So if you've been missing them, and I have, sign up for our newsletter and you'll get an invitation to join us. And we'll go through a guided meditation, and you will be able to connect with a crystal for a message. And I often will choose somebody to get a personal message as well. So that's coming up next month. See you guys soon. Many blessings. Lots of love.